What would you do if every night you heard whispers calling your name from across a seemingly serene lake? What if those whispers weren't simply a trick of the wind? Tonight, we unravel the terrifying truths hidden within the curse of Whispering Lake. Welcome to Nightside Archive, where darkness is never just skin deep. Let's dive into mystery and fear together, and tonight's story will take us deep into the still, eerie waters of Whispering Lake. Nestled in a secluded valley in Norway, surrounded by towering cliffs that act like natural amphitheaters, the small and unassuming Whispering Lake seems peaceful. But stories among the locals cast it as anything but. Hundreds of years ago, this lake, then called Hjertavatn, or Heart Water, was part of an ominous Viking saga, a tale of betrayal, execution, and a mother's vengeful curse upon an entire community. Legend has it that in 1349, amidst the grim cloud of the Black Death sweeping Europe, a Viking chief named Thorald led his people to this lake, seeking refuge. Thorald was a fierce leader, respected, but also feared. As disease ravaged the lands around them, his village remained untouched, likely due to the isolation of the lake. The residents began calling it sacred. Thorald declared it a gift from the gods, a divine oasis. But when Thorald was betrayed by one of his own men over a share of buried loot, his brutal punishment set the curse in motion. Lars, the man who betrayed him, was drawn, quartered, and discarded into the lake while still alive. It's said his screams echoed through the cliffs, and that his blood turned the water red for days. Enraged at how Thorald handled the betrayal, Lars's mother stormed to Whispering Lake on a frosty autumn morning, cursing Thorald and his entire following. With her final words, she plunged a blade into her chest, she too falling into the blood-stained waters. Almost immediately, the village began experiencing the inexplicable. Boats left tied to docks were found floating in the middle of the lake, with faint trails of blood leading from the shore. Hunters disappeared, only to be found weeks later with their faces contorted into what witnesses described as expressions of pure terror, their hearts missing from their chests. Worse yet, villagers began hearing their names being whispered at night. At first, faint and easily dismissed, the voices became clearer and more persistent, beckoning from the cliffs, from the edges of the water, and finally, from beneath its surface. Frightened, most of Thorald's clan fled the cursed lake, leaving behind their homes and their divine oasis. Thorald himself, determined to defy the curse, stayed. Many believe he paid the ultimate price, vanishing without a trace in 1350, his ship overturned in the flat, glassy waters. His body was never retrieved, but whispers claim he can still be heard on quiet nights, screaming Lars' name from somewhere deep within the lake. Fast forward to the 21st century. Whispering Lake has become a magnet for paranormal investigators and thrill seekers, even though locals continue to give it a wide berth. Some visitors have reported hearing low, guttural voices echoing across the water late at night, while others claim to have found fresh, wet footprints near the cabins scattered around the area, even in the dead of winter. Fishermen have recounted engines failing inexplicably, nets being shredded without cause, and sensations of being watched when no one else was nearby. A particularly chilling case unfolded in 2009, when a group of college students from Oslo decided to camp by the lake for a weekend filming project. They heard the stories. They thought the tales were folklore, exaggerated nonsense told to scare off tourists. But that weekend was the last time all 5 were seen alive. 2 weeks later, a search party discovered their tents ripped open from the outside, their camping gear scattered. 4 of the students were recovered, each mysteriously drowned, though no water was found in their lungs. The 5th student, however, remains missing to this day. Locals believe he answered the whispers and now lives within the lake, bound by its dark curse. What makes the Whispering Lake so spine-chilling is the combination of environment and folklore. The valley's natural acoustics amplify sounds, which could explain the eerie whispers carried over water. But could science explain shared nightmares reported by campers, or objects moving seemingly of their own accord? Is it mass hysteria fueled by the haunting stories, or is there something sentient hiding beneath those silvery waves? And remember the scars of history, a mother's grief, a chieftain's cruelty, and the echoes of countless lives lost to time. It's enough to leave even the staunchest skeptics questioning their disbelief. So how about you? Would you face Whispering Lake? Would you lean into the silence and try to hear what might whisper your name in the dead of night? Or would you turn and run at the first trace of a ripple? One thing's for sure. The stories surrounding this cursed lake continue to ripple through generations. Tonight, let Whispering Lake be a lesson to us all. Some waters run still, but never safe. Stay vigilant, stay curious, but know that some mysteries may never want solving. Thank you for joining me tonight at the Nightside Archive. Until next time, stay in the light, but not too brightly. The dark always listens.